Peace, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Silver Tongue Gorillas. And today I want to talk about, does red pill equal zero romance? See, um, why am I bringing this up? Because some people may assume that when you decide to go red pill, you are callous, um, and the way that you look at women or look at being in your masculine frame means zero romance. Um, that's just not true. Okay. But inside of Red Pill, the community of people that say they are Red Pill, what you have are MGTOWs. And a lot of times you have different philosophies around how people want to carry out being red pill. Once again, like I said before, one of the main things about the red pill is just that you've been conditioned one way. Maybe you didn't know how you were being conditioned, and by taking the red pill, in effect, you begin to unlearn some of the things that you learned about female nature, things you always knew intuitively, but the world may have shamed you for saying or for saying anything about. You know what I mean? For example, you might say, I don't want no fat girl, but you can't say that too loud, right? Or you can't be that way because then that would be fat shaming, that would be body shaming. So these type of things, I'm not saying that you should be a jerk. I'm just saying that for a long time, men were not saying the things that they thought and how they felt, and they were saying what they were taught, what they were conditioned to say. But innately, a lot of men knew that that wasn't them. So red pill is like you almost tapping into something that's innate, something that's in you. All right. But just for those people that don't know what the red pill is, I just wanted to say that. But the main thing is this: do you have to lack romance because you are a red pill, because you've gone red pill? Does red pill equal zero romance? This is for a lot of people. I can see that they get this twisted, okay? And if anything, because I like to answer the question, right, and not spend a lot of time beating around the bush. No, you can be red pill and you can be romantic and you can believe in love. It's just that you don't make these things primary. These are not, you don't make your decisions from an emotional place because that's feminine in nature. You make your decisions from a logical place. Even when you go with a gut feeling, that gut feeling should be based off a level of deduction and then saying, hey, what do I have to lose? Or your gut should be based off logic. Okay. So when we talk about being red pill and we talk about romance, what we have to understand is that for many of us men, achieving romance, we left that all up to the woman. Therefore, this is what you call being inside of her frame, the feminine frame, as opposed to being inside of the masculine frame. And what this actually does is it kills romance, because she wants to be with someone who is a man. She doesn't want to be with a boy. All right. So therefore, you have to come into the situation, gentlemen, inside of your masculinity, inside of the domain that your satisfaction is paramount. All right. Now, when it comes to flowers and dates and these type of things, if that's the kind of man you are, if those are things you want to do because those are things you want to do, then by all means do those things, you know. But however, I just want you to be careful that you're not doing all of these things to get something out of it. Because if you're doing these things to get something out of it, then ultimately this is where you become a simp. So when you usually when people talking about love, they're talking about what we call non-sexual attention. And this is the sexual attention is what solidifies the non-sexual attention. So the fact that you guys are intimate with each other on a sexual level, but you also enjoy doing things together, you also enjoy each other's company and companionship, this is where the love comes in most of the time. For two people that's just banging friends with benefits, there's no love there. It's just lust, right? Which is cool. But I just don't want you to think, because if you listen to MGTOW, basically you could be feeling like, which is a division in Red Pill, you could be feeling like, you know what, you know, I'm the type of guy that like romance. I want to be romantic. And what am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to do when it comes to fulfilling my need of being romantic? Now, and so that's all I wanted to say. I just came to give you my 2 cents on that, my perspective. That you could do what you want with it, but I know a lot of you guys are following, are learning about Red Pill, and you, even no matter how long you've been dealing with it, love is a natural thing. So you could be Red Pill for 5 years and you could be doing great, you know what I mean? But then you might hit it off with a female, you know what I mean? And she's saying all the right things, she doing all the right things, her age is right, you know, everything makes sense logically, right? And so at this point, you may start questioning your philosophy. So I'm just saying, everybody's at different places. Even people that's been MGTOW or Red Pill for 10 years have to make sure they stay in their frame, right? Make sure that they stay inside that Red Pill mindset. But the key is, gentlemen, you don't have to be so uptight when it comes to the Red Pill. You don't have to, you know, try to figure out the do's and don'ts, right? The Red Pill is really just a information grid to help you navigate intergender relationships. So I look at Red Pill as a bunch of distinctions. What's a distinction? A distinction is, on a chessboard, you got squares. You know, you have black squares, you have white squares, or you have black squares, you have red squares. This distinguishes one player's box from the other player's box. You got different pieces. This distinguishes one player piece from the other player piece via color, all right? And so this is how I look at the Red Pill. You just start to distinguish some things. And if anything, what I would say is that being Red Pill actually has the potential, if you allow it to work with you, to boost romance, to have you be more attractive to your spouse, your energy, how you radiate. This is something you have to work on. This is something that you have to work to develop, right? It's not something that, but let me say this. In terms of you working to develop that, what that is taking the things you learn and applying them and messing up. See, if you're looking for this philosophy or any philosophy in life to be at the end of the rainbow there's gold, you know that's fool's treasure, that's fool's gold. And a lot of brothers, y'all come to these channels and you look for ABC 1, 2, 3 how-tos on how to do many different things, which is probably why you would look at a video entitled, "Does Red Pill equal Zero Romance?" You know, at the end of the day, ultimately, that's a question, that's something you have to answer for yourself, right? I haven't come to a conclusion, but as I'm playing with it, what I'm finding for myself is that it actually opens up the door for greater romance. It actually opens up the door for more attraction. Okay? So that's the first thing I want to touch on. This idea of, no romance. Now, at the end of the day, what MGTOW men may be saying is that the most romance that you're going to ever get is going to be when you don't cohabitate. Tom Likas is like, he didn't claim to be Tom Likas is a radio personality, for those that don't know. And he never said that he was MGTOW. But a lot of the rules that Tom Likas had for living that he gave the men were based off of men going their own way. So he's like a retroactive MGTOW. Like, now that MGTOW is a thing, he's one of the forefathers now that it's a thing. And what I could say, what I've gathered from their perspective is that, yes, romance is better and it is able to sustain longer when you do not cohabitate, because the dynamics of the relationship change once you bring cohabitation into it. And guess what? When the romance dies and the relationship fizzles out, you both can go your own way without anybody worrying about the, bills, community property, these type of things. So a lot of times what you'll hear people say is that, one of the greatest killers to romance is responsibility. Waking up with somebody every day, gotta do the dishes, gotta take care of the children. All of these responsibilities could put a damp cloth on that romantic fire, a fire blanket, right? Responsibilities could be like a fire blanket to romance. Okay. But obviously, if you're going to be married and you're going to get into a relationship, then you're going to have to learn how to manufacture. You're going to have to learn how to build romance, right? You're going to have to learn how to maintain a fire, steer the embers. And this is where Rollo Tomasi in his book become valuable when they talk about things such as dread and these different ways to manufacture a response of romance, to manufacture a sense of competition, right? Some sense of drama, right? To create these things. Because if you look at most romanticism, it's driven by drama. When you look at the Titanic, you're looking at a romantic film that's wrapped in drama. So it's almost like bacon wrapped shrimp. You know what I mean? It's lustful. Come on. Or whatever you could think of that's just too good to be true when you put those two things together. And so this would be manufacturing. But either way, what the red pill is actually designed to do is increase your romance, to increase your woman's desire. Okay? So I just wanted to clear this up for y'all, man, because I know a lot of y'all dudes, but once again, and you trying to increase your woman's desire, you might make some mistakes. You will make some mistakes. All right. But those mistakes are imperfect perfections. I feel as though the primary thing you got to have as a man is conviction. And if you have that, then you put yourself in a position to see things through. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, coming to watch these videos, getting your game up. Iron sharpens iron, baby. So I'm glad you're here. And I look forward to seeing y'all on another video. Peace.